welcome. I do not have an intro, but I have a brand new video for you, and this video is short, it's sweet, I've lost footage. It's not super important footage, so I figured it's still fun to post. Not just because the footage that I lost wasn't too important, and it is right at the end, so we can just go over that in a real-time part, but also because I thought, okay, this is already a pretty, straightforward build, and it's not really progressing us that much in this series, which is something I'm going to talk about later on. But I also thought this would be a great opportunity to show a bit more of my terraforming process, which usually I not really cut out, but I prepare this better so I don't really try around in the videos. You'll really just see like the final touches, but here right now you can see the terrain painting, and then a lot of terraforming is going on. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I really love having this like chunky look to the terraforming when I want to have like a rock wall. I love keeping it like chunky and not too smooth. If you want to see how to achieve that, I can show you. But maybe you know how to achieve that, then I don't know, I won't. But if you want to know, let me know. Yeah, I just figured, you know, this gives us a great opportunity to keep in more of the terraforming. And a lot of terraforming we did because we are building for crocodiles, so everything had to be fairly, you know, accessible to small little feetsies. And wait, I don't know why I said it like that. Yeah, that is that. And we are building a lot of waterfalls, which we're doing right now. Look at that timing. We are doing a lot of waterfalls because I figured, you know, it's crocodiles, water is fun. And that also kind of gives us now the entire river that is going through a main island. Isn't that crazy? Like, we already have the river done. I want to do a little bit more on the other side of the river. Like, we are really focusing on one, I don't know what it's called in English, but the side of the river. We are really focusing on one of them, and I don't really want to do a lot on the other side because I'm not sure yet what will be there. So I don't know, it often for me feels kind of pointless if I don't know what will be on the opposite side of something to start really working on it, and then, you know, because, you know, the chances are pretty high that you'll have to change that later on, so just keep it, even though it might not look the best at first, but I figured that that is usually easier for me to do in that order. And yeah, I figured it would be fun to keep in my process of creating waterfalls because I'm a big fan of the aquatic waterfalls. I know that some people use the FX waterfalls, and those are fun too, and I did use in the end but didn't record it, I didn't record it. I did use some FX waterfalls in the end to make these look a little bit more realistic. But for the most part, I do rely on covering the aquatic waterfalls with rocks. So I don't know. I hope that process being shown in more detail than I would usually do it is kind of helpful to some people, maybe. And if not, well, here you are looking at me placing 1,000,000 rocks. Frame rate is still good, and I hope that will stay that way, because obviously there's going to be a boat running through it, so I figure that is probably going to not really help the frame rate later on. But yeah, we will see how smooth that boat ride will go once this entire project is finished, which will take us some time. I can imagine that already. Oh yeah, that is something I want to talk about actually. I don't think for this specific project that I will continue to keep it in the regular run of videos. I think that I will sort of focus more on the cold climate one and the base game one, because not because there's anything wrong with this series, or not because it's doing worse or whatever, but just because I figured that with this series, because it is so like heavy on foliage work and everything has to be very overcluttered, it can take some time of building that has absolutely nothing to do with the actual habitat just to blend the habitat itself in, and that will continue throughout this entire island. So for example with this, like all the paths up there that we will see later on, we'll have to cover them all up, and that is so much repetitive stuff that it's just not really the most logical thing to do that like every other week, you know? Because that takes a lot of time to record. Even if I don't show it, I'll still have to do it. The footage that I actually do get out of this will be very small then. So I don't know. I figured that this is right now not the best project to go with in the run of things. Because right now I'm circling through the base game one and this one, the Tropical Islands one, and the cold climate one. So that means that every third video would be part of this. But if all I do is repetitive foliage work, then I don't get a lot of like new interesting footage out of it. So I really have to do some of the foliage work when I have more time, and not be, you know, constantly looking at the time for that, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that this project will probably, you know, miss some weeks and the others go a little bit faster. And I think that the cold climate one is kind of, I feel like it is the favorite of you guys. I don't know. Let me know if it's not, but it's definitely doing well. It's fun, and it's also pretty fun for me to build in. I usually have a very, very clear vision of what I want to do in these. Which is not so much with the Tropical Island, because with this I made the mistake of having an overall vision, but the smaller things I'm more like I'll just wing it as I go, and I'm happy with how they turn out. But you know, if you don't have a clear vision, it takes a little bit longer to get one. So that is kind of the struggle I'm having. Oh no, I wouldn't call it a struggle. This is very much fun. And I'm so happy with the results, and I want to finish it because I do think this is one of those parks that once they're finished, you'll look at them and you'll be so proud of having done that. So yeah, it's not going anywhere, it's just going slower. And yeah, but I mean, this was fun to build. I will say that in the end I decided to have a very, very weird combination of animals and to just get rid of the barrier in between. So this will be one giant habitat with the hippos. So we'll have crocodiles and hippos in the same river. And I don't know, I like the idea of you going through this with a boat with this like very overgrown jungly thing, and you're like, wow, where am I? And then you just like see these like silhouettes in the water and coming out of the water, and it can either be like a hippo or a crocodile. I like that thought. So we will look at them in the real-time part a little bit later on, because the crocodiles are beautiful. I'm not big on reptiles, but they're so cute. Like the crocodiles. I like, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like crocodiles in real life. Whatever. But yeah, I decided that why not put them together? I figured, I mean, I didn't check, to be honest, if they would do anything to each other in the wild, but I don't know. I would figure that the hippos, they wouldn't go into the water if they were scared of crocodiles, because crocodiles are around pretty much most places. And I don't know, they feel just too big for the crocodiles to, you know, be threatened by the crocodile. That's what I'm trying to say. But if it's unrealistic, I can live with that. Maybe I'll separate them later on again. But for now, if it just felt cool to have this moment of going through a river and not really knowing what you expect to be in the water underneath you. I don't know. I quite like that you can go under the tracks for the boat too. Not in every place, because not every place has the same depth, but they can definitely go underneath it. I didn't check yet if they can escape off the other side, but I've pretty much turned off absolutely everything for this. Also, in this park, I said it in the last video, but we aren't going to spend too much, we're not going to put on too much attention to giving them a realistic shelter or indoor stuff or whatever. This is just us wanting to create a beautiful, weird jungle thing that you go through, and it's kind of not mystical. It is still realistic in that sense, but just you're immersed in that jungle, if that makes sense. I also, now that I'm talking about that, I did something I've never seriously done. I think I've done it when I first got my hand on the game. That was one of the things I tried and then never did again, was using FX falling leaves. I've not done that really before. I'm very much a build on past kind of builder. I don't really do franchise, so it never really made sense for me to have these falling leaf things. But then as I was finishing up this, and there's some overgrownness going on the river section that unfortunately you can't see in the speed build, but that I do, and we will see that in the real-time part. I figured, falling leaves might look cool here. And I did, and they look great. Right now, actually, I'm kind of proud of this. I usually cut out the annoying pathing situation, and I left some pathing in. Wouldn't you know it? This is the cool part when you have not that much footage. You can leave in stuff that I would usually deem too or less interesting than the other stuff. And also, a lot of times I make the mistake of starting too late. It's not that I forget recording, it's just I'm okay, I prepare this so that it goes smoothly, and then my preparation portion of it always kind of slips into actually starting something that would have been interesting to see, but then I haven't recorded it. And then similarly, when I'm getting done, I'm okay, I can stop now. This is just some finishing touching, some moving things around, and then I end up spending another hour placing rocks and grass pieces and little branches and stuff. Not the most interesting stuff, not the stuff that changes anything, but I do recognize that I don't always show that stuff. Also stuff like benches and bins and stuff is something that I never record. It's always something that I think of after the fact. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's too bad because you always see them in the real-time part, and they pretty much all happen after each video anyway. So yeah, whatever. Also, there will be a video coming of me talking about how to make boring ground less boring, and I'm just noticing that we're about to be going into the real-time part. Okay, see you in a second. Alright, look at us looking at a ominous little cave right here. We haven't really seen that in the video because that was part of the last footage, but you are entering this from the boat ride. Obviously there's no boat ride attached to it yet, but you are entering this little cave right here, which brings you inland into the river. I might detail this part out more. I think that more stuff sticking through this would be better, but I've only now realized that. So let's look at this in full beauty before we go in into this dark little cave right here. And then as we come out here with a beautiful sun in our eyes, we enter this and unpause the game for this. So like I said, I work with some more FX things right here. But yeah, this is the river that you're going alongside of. Like I said, I will work on this edge of the river a bit more once I know what's up here. But for now, we're going to focus on that side of the river. There's a lot of waterfalls in the back. This right here gets you a lot of area for the crocodiles to swim in a bit more private. Obviously, we hope that they will swim out here. Yeah, some of these, unfortunately, I absolutely can't remember what they're called in English right now, but I quite like them. I think they make everything look more jungly, and yeah, that is enrichment for crocodiles, actually. And yeah, let's look around. Oh, see, this is the falling leaves thing that I was talking about. I think that's really cute. And on now here, this side of that side of the river looks really nice in my opinion. But yeah, this is just where crocodiles are. There's another mud pool, and I've already seen like one of the hippos use it before. Because like I said, they now are... Oh, see, there's a crocodile. Alright. Hi there. That is so cool. Isn't it ominous to like go through like a dark cave, then get into this like into a jungle and then see crocodiles swim around you? I don't know. That was kind of my vision for this. And alright, cutie. I don't know why I look at that and say cutie, but I don't know. I mean, I love the way it swims. It's so pretty and well done. Well done. It's one of the base game animals. It's like a crazy good base game animal. I don't know about its traversable area. I haven't checked, but you know. But yeah, let's look up here. So it has some cave things right here, and you know, they don't really have a real shelter, which is an issue if we were to play with anything turn on, but we aren't. We will change this around in some way, shape, or form once I know what's behind here, but for now this is just like an entrance. Obviously this isn't going to stay the same. And then from up here, this is also nice because with the hippos we didn't really have a lot of ways to view them for our guests. So now if the hippos can walk over here as well, you know, there's more ways for them to see from up here, and obviously this gives you a very good look into the habitat as well. And yeah, let's just go up there a bit, because there's another nice view. You can kind of see them go under here maybe, because they can, I don't know. I thought they could go around, but I changed that. But yeah, obviously this needs like some fence, or, you know, in some shape, keep the visitors from just like falling in. But you know, like I said, I'm not gonna deal with that before I know what's on this side, so I'm not too stressed about that yet. Going up here is going to like get you across, because there's also going to be a different not a different island, but like a second part of the island obviously over here. So the path is going to lead us over this piece here and connect here and then go back down here. And yeah, that basically, I guess, concludes our little crocodile river right here. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. You can also let me know if you think it's weird that I put them together with the hippos or not. And yeah, I hope you stay tuned. I hope that it won't be too long before I post another update on the tropical islands, because I do quite like the idea and I do think they will be pretty cool, and I love this cage. I will definitely maybe put more detail into the cage now that I look at it more. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you in the comments, and I hope to see you around for another video. Bye!